How is it going, everybody? Today I have a video going over Purrely. It's going to be a Purrely guide. These monsters are really cute. It's actually the first deck I think my girlfriend would want to play. But we're going to be going over the support. Then we're going to just explain it. I want to do this video from pretty much what my perspective was going into it. I've never read the Purrely cards until I saw that they were getting support, and the support's actually really good. So I think it's worthwhile going into this before everyone catches on to the hype. If I can be bothered, I will have timestamps depending on where you are at your Purrely journey so that you can refer to any of them. You know, if you've already read the cards, you can go straight to the combo. So I hope that helps. My goal is for this to be the only Purrely video you need to watch before playing the deck yourself. So I hope that does that. And let's get into it. So starting off with the support, we'll be getting two new cards. We'll be getting Purrely Lily and Purrely Sleepy Memory, two nice additions to the Purrely family, being so that they've only actually had one monster before this point, so Lily is actually really busted for the deck. Now let's go over Lily first. So this card can basically just add any Purrely card from your deck. I know it says only accept a quick play spell, but there's ways to get to any quick play spell you want off just this card. Now, it also has an effect similar to its counterpart, except it can actually target the quick play from the graveyard rather than the hand, and special summon an XYZ monster from the extra deck, using it and that card as materials. And going into the new Purrely quick play spells, so you activate this card, then you discard one card, and special summon one of the two Purrely monsters from your main deck. You also don't take battle or effect damage, but that rarely comes up the turn you activate this card. And a Purrely XYZ monster that has this card as a material gains the effect. During your opponent's standby phase, you can draw one card, which reminds me of that annoying card that's in Cyber's decks, Heat Soul. But, oh, and what is that? That's the alarm? Okay, so just so y'all know, every card in the Purrely archetype that's a quick play spell has all of the highlighted text the same. So they basically all do the same thing. Discard one card, special summon a level 1 Purrely from deck. And then a Purrely XYZ monster that has this card as a material gains this effect. They all have different effects that they gain via their quick play spell when it's a material. So just to make it a little easier, just remember that all these cards do the same thing, and that's why the deck's uber consistent. So because the Purrely quick play spells do discard, there are a couple options we have when it comes to the core of the deck. Now we could run hand traps like basically everyone else, and we could just pitch those. We could also run cards like Volcanic Shell and Snow and Brow, or just discard fodder like the Dark World engine. We could also run Dangers as some board breakers, more ambition for your Bigfoot and your Thunderbird. Now, we could also just run traditional board breakers like Evenly, Dark Ruler, and just discard those when we go first, or have powerful cards for going second, which is really adds to the consistency of the deck. We could even splash an Cheeria engine in this deck and play an Cheeria Purrely. It's kind of like the Runic in that aspect, where it's more powerful, I would say. I don't know if anything's more powerful than draw 3 cards, but this deck draws cards too, so it's really hard to say. I mean, you're making a Towers in the XYZ that's really busted, and we'll go into him real quick. So X Purrely Nowhere is the main boss monster you're going to make, as in no cards will affect it. It is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects while it has 5 or more materials. Also has an additional, you can detach 2 materials, then target 1 card your opponent controls or in the graveyard, place it to the bottom of the deck. And it's a quick effect if it has a level 1 Purrely monster as a material. So this just, I always compare cards to Beatrice, and like this is an unaffected Beatrice because it's an interruption, because you're almost always going to have the 1 Purrely monster as a material. So this card is pretty busted. Now its stats aren't the greatest. It's only 1128, so it's not going to be really pushing for game. But this card is insane. I mean, even like, for example, if your opponent tries to Solemn Strike it because they're wondering, what in my deck, what do I have that can affect this card? Solemn Strike, you can activate it. It'll negate and destroy, but at resolution, it is not negated and destroyed. Nothing happens, basically. So this card is absolutely broken and is the main win con of the deck that you're always going to try to make when you go first. So on to the combos. Now, there are a number of ways you can play this deck. For this video, I will be only using pure Purrely builds, but I will display a couple of strategies and a couple of variants with the pure build. I will also have a link below to the deck list I used in case you want to test this deck for yourself. It'll be nice and easy, conveniently in the description. So first, we're going to activate our Purrely Memory, discarding our Infinite Impermanence, which is important. We'll get to that later, we're going to special summon the new Purrely Lily, which will add a card from our deck to our hand. Now we're going to add the continuous spell, My Friend Purrely. My Friend Purrely is a very good card in cases of follow-up and as a Rhoda. So you can reveal 3 of any Purrely cards from your deck, except itself, and usually you just reveal 3 copies of the same card, so you basically just get to pick whatever card you want, because usually you only want the cards you don't have anyway. Now, it also has an additional effect which will come up and is very important, and is kind of why I protect it with my other Purrely cards. If a face-up Purrely XYZ monster you control leaves the field, because of an opponent's card, even during the damage step, you can add up to 3 Purrely quick spells with different names from your graveyard to your hand, which is very important on their turn. If they clear your towers, you're still going to get 3 quick plays from your grave to your hand, even if you get Nibiru'd and you play into it because you special a bunch of the other Purrely level 1 monster that isn't Lily. It definitely comes up quite a bit. Next, we are going to activate our Purrely Lily using the Sleepy Memory from our graveyard to attach it as a material and XYZ summon into our Purrely Plump. Now, Purrely Plump is usually going to be the first monster you make. It has an effect where you can target up to 2 spells and traps in the graveyard, attach them to this card as a material, so that could be any spell or trap, which is why I said Dark Ruler, Imperm, Evenly, Talents, they're all very good in this deck. It's a quick effect if you have Delicious Memory as a material. That's one of the other Purrely cards that's in our hand, but that doesn't really come up as much, it needing to be a quick effect. And up to thrice per turn, this is an effect that all the rank 2 XYZs have. You can, when you activate a Purrely quick play spell, you can attach that card on the field to this card as a material. So it's a quick effect, you chain it, you attach it, then you can banish 1 monster on the field until the end phase, which is also a really busted additional effect if you want to maybe clear some monsters and even make a Zeus. So we will activate the My Friend Purrely and use its effect to reveal 3 Purrely Pretty Memory from our deck and add 1 to our hand. Now, I'll get into why Purrely Pretty Memory is the card we added in this scenario a little later, but basically we're going to end on 2 XYZs, so it is essential that we have this one. Next, we will use Delicious Memory targeting Plump, and we will chain Plump's effects to attach it as a material. Now, that will be protected from battle for the next turn because of Delicious Memory's effect, and we will discard Happy Memory, special summoning Purrely from deck, which is a really weird name. It can be very confusing. Now, using Purrely's effect, we get to reveal the top 3 cards of our deck and add one spell or trap card that is a Purrely card. We get lucky with the Sleepy Memory because that means we'll get to draw an extra card. We use Purrely's effect to attach the card from hand as a material, Purrely Pretty Memory. We do this because this will allow our Purrely Beauty to have a quick effect to target 1 card your opponent controls, 1 monster, and negate its effects until the end of the turn. And we will just activate that Purrely Sleepy Memory and attach it to our Beauty to get an additional draw and spread out the copies, maybe help out with our continuous spell. And then we will use our Plump's effects to attach 2 materials from grave and get nowhere, and then draw 2 cards during their standby phase. Now for the next combo, I'm going to show you just how powerful just 1 Sleepy Memory could be, and kind of how this deck could interact with, just a little of the engine, and just how powerful the trap card even is, because we didn't showcase that with the first combo. So we're going to activate Sleepy Memory, discarding Impermanence, which is kind of important, but that could be any spell or trap, as I've mentioned. Get the Lily. Lily will search the trap and not the Happy Memory. Now, I did show that because if you did want to play 3 of the trap, you would have been able to have the continuous spell, but this build only plays 1, so that's why we just add 1 of the trap instead. Now we're going to activate the effect, equip Sleepy Memory from the graveyard, which is pretty broken, and then we'll use its effect to attach that Imperm as a material. We'll set our trap and go. During their standby phase, we will draw 1 card with the Lily attached via its effect, and then we will activate the trap to special summon our Noir. So this is going to get us another draw during their standby phase, and we have 2 quick effect interruptions with our Noir. Even though it can be targeted, at least we're sending 2 cards to the bottom of the deck, and we just got 2 cards for free. So that's a +2 off 1 card. Very good, I would say. Pretty insane just off 1 card, and how you could just play this deck with a bunch of hand traps. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Now, is this deck viable? I do think it definitely is. Now, we see it in the OCG right now, tearing it up. So it had a 14.5, highest percent out of all the decks besides other, which of course is going to be high. And we see it going, 6-1 in this tournament. That's pretty much the average turnout for these Japanese events. We see them utilizing these cards as a very good way to dig for Max C, because like I said, these draw cards stack, so you can just stack 3 draws, draw into Max C. We also see that they're playing cards like the trap that searches a field spell for Crystal Beast, just to give like more fodder. Now I do think the field spell for Purrely is kind of not the best, so I don't know about that, but at least you're making Appaloosa and everything else, you can extend way further. I do think this deck is really cool, and I think that it's definitely worth testing, and you definitely will play against it when it's available. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the in-depth guide on Purrely. Let me know if there's anything I missed or any questions you had as far as rulings or the meta for the deck.